So there's 50 to 80% of students, Christian students that go to college, either lose their faith or stop attending church. So that's kind of scary. And are you going to college and you're scared of losing your faith? Or have you gone to college and lost your faith? Well, today we're going to talk about that. And we have a special guest with us today. And he's going to share his experience of going to a college that is a Catholic college and how he kept his faith and how he increased his faith also. So tune in today for more. So like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get to it. Hey, my name is Antonio, and we have a special guest today with us, Ronnie Macias.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, my name is Ronnie, as you said. I went to Franciscan University of Steubenville. I studied there for 4 years. I got my bachelor's in arts and concentration in clinical psychology with a minor in biology también.
Okay. No, that's good. And you went to a Catholic university. So are you yourself Catholic?
Yes, I'm Catholic. I was raised Catholic, not practicing for the first years of my life, but like after middle school, that's when like I started. I was like practicing Catholic.
Okay, no, that's good. And then you went to a university who's a Franciscan University of Steubenville. So that has I'm guessing a Franciscan charisma, right?
Yes, it does.
And so do you see St. Francis everywhere you go, or how's that?
Yeah, I mean, like other than the statues, yeah, I see like, and the TORs there and the sisters. Yeah, I see basically.
So you have friars in the community, in the school?
Yeah, there's I believe there's 9 friars, but there's friars all around campus, and there's sisters who are also friars. The friars that we have is the TOR, which is like the third order.
Oh, yes.
Third is the order religious, I think. I'm not too quite sure.
Okay. And the sisters also?
Sisters too, yeah.
Okay.
There's also sisters from like...
was this Clarisas?
I'm not sure what like the sisters are. Some of them are TOR, but some of them are also like the different... Congregation, yeah.
Okay. No, okay. So some information about Franciscan University. If you're looking to go into Franciscan University, you might have to listen to the full podcast. We have some interesting stuff about this school. So tune in. Franciscan University was established in 1946, so that's a while back. And the amount of students that go there, out of all of the students, 97% are Catholic. So did you see out of the 3% that are not Catholic, did you see a lot of people who are not Catholic?
Not a lot of people, but like there were few of my friends who were not Catholic that went there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would say that the professors are not all Catholic too, right?
Most of the professors are, but like there's an exception. There's like in that following that 3%, there's also professors that are not Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then out of the students, like the locals are also not Catholic, or
yeah,
some of the locals are not.
Yeah, some of the locals are not Catholic, but yeah, most of them go to a Catholic college, because they're Catholic.
Okay. I mean, that's very interesting though, to have almost full Catholic students at a Catholic university. I mean, I've always personally wanted to go to a school that was all Catholic, but I mean, I was going to a Catholic high school, but then I decided not to. I decided to go to public school. But that's very interesting. I've always kind of had that idea of it would have been a great experience for me personally. So that's very interesting. And why did you decide to go to Franciscan University out of all the colleges in the U.S. or the world? Why in the world would you go to Franciscan University?
Yeah, I mean, like I was looking to when I was time to, look for colleges, I was like looking for other colleges too that were not Catholic, such as like other like ECU or like UNC Chapel Hill or App State. But I also wanted to go to a Catholic college because I also wanted to to see how the environment was. I always had that interest in going to a Catholic school, whether it be high school or middle school, but there weren't any around my where I live here in North Carolina. So that's why I decided to go to a Catholic college, and just because I wanted to see the vibe.
Yeah. So you had to go see the school before you actually applied to the school or went into the school.
Yeah.
What was your first reaction once you went?
Oh, when our first reaction, it was cool because where Franciscan is located in Sumbo. It's it's above a hill, so you have to go up a hill, and it's like a whole different community up there. It's when I went during the springtime, and it was I remember that the grass was really green.
Yeah.
There were students walking to class, and have all the the movie college vibe, when they have to go to class and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. My parents and we all went to tour the campus, and my mom liked it, my dad liked it, and I loved it.
Yeah. So you didn't stay right at the moment, or were you? I know you liked it, but did you decide hey, this is my school?
Well, when I walked in there, I was like, "Yep, this is the school I want to go to," and it's just even going through the tour, that the campus tour, I fell in love with the school even more.
Okay, so was it hard to apply for Franciscan University, or how was the process of applying for it?
Yeah, it wasn't really hard to apply. It's really if you mean by is it hard to go on the website and applying for a Catholic college?
No, I'm saying what your grades, do you have to have a certain amount of GPA or tuition wise? Was that kind of a thing that kind of kept you from applying or something?
Yeah. Well, I just applied because I wanted to see if I can get in at first, to be honest. But once I saw the tuition, that's when I was like, okay, maybe it's a little bit too much, And after speaking with my dad was like, hey, this might be too much. Let's choose a school that's closer, to home, because
maybe a little cheaper.
A little bit cheaper, yeah, because I live in North Carolina, and Franciscan is located in Ohio. It's 9 hours away from where I live, and my dad was like, "You're gonna be way too far away, and this school is a little bit it's expensive. And how about you you choose a school that's closer to home?"
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So, what is the dress code here in Franciscan University? Is there a dress code? Do you have to dress a certain way?
I mean, no. There's no really if you mean by school uniform, we don't have a school uniform. We have it's just a regular college, but we do dress modest. Yeah, it's just modesty is, as a Catholic, it should always be practiced in your daily lives. So just as long as you dress modest, you'll be fine.
Okay, that's good. That's good. How about I've seen you in quite a few March for Life events that they do in the Capitol. And I did look up this, and do y'all get the day off specifically to go to the March for Life?
Yes, we do get the Friday day off.
The whole school.
The whole school, yeah. Our classes are canceled to go to the March for Life, and the school actually rents out about 8 or 9 buses, so we can go. You sign up, and they pay you the little fee. And then you just go all the way to Washington, D.C. and you march, you march for life.
Because every year the students of Steubenville are there marching for life. That's good. I've seen y'all every year, even if before you were in that school. I've seen them all the time. So that's good. That's very interesting. You take the day off to go to the March for Life. That's awesome.
It's a little fun 3-day weekend because it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So then, how was your college experience? How has your college experience impacted your faith? Did it benefit you? Was it tough? Or how did it go?
Well, college life, on top of college life, it's like a roller coaster because with my faith, because there were so many things. I was far away from home, far away from my home here in North Carolina, and far away from home in Mexico. And it's always like, it's also like, it had its ups and downs moments, because if I want to go visit my families for the weekend, like they weren't there,
Okay.
like I'm not gonna drive 9 hours to go see like my family and drive 9 hours back,
Dang.
because like that's pretty far, it's gonna be tiring. But also like I did like increase my faith, because I learned like meeting friends and people, um, yeah.
And okay, so that's your overall take on how college impacted your faith, and how did you manage to make it grow? What are the things that you did to not lose your faith?
Yeah. So in my school, that's really cool that I think that I love, when I was touring campus, was that Franciscan has a chapel. We call it the Port, and it's a representation of Saint Francis the Portiuncula. I think I'm saying
Portiuncula.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. The
And
port.
The
you
port.
said.
We call it the Port. It's a
Okay.
little
Short.
just short for.
Okay.
So we call it the Port, and we have 24-hour adoration, 24/7 adoration, where 2 students are always going to be there. We signed up for an hour, so you can go be with holy, like you can go have a holy hour, and you can go like at any time too. Also,
Okay.
and having the port there was really helpful, because when I missed my family, I would go into the port and pray and and feel like, and just to be there with Jesus, because it was like it felt really awesome. And also on top of that, in our campus, in the dorms, we have a chapel in every dorm. So my
dang.
first year, yeah, I lived in the Trinity building, the Trinity building, dorm, and there was a chapel all the way on the ground floor. And I would remember I would go there, pray, and it was really nice. I loved the chapel there. And
That's awesome.
each of the dorms had a chapel. On top of the people too, your friends, you make friends there and everything, and everyone wants to like our purpose here to be become a saint. So everybody's like pushing you to be like a saint, and they encourage you to pray, or they'll see you and they're like, oh, how can I pray for you? Or they'll just stop you random, or like at night you're walking and then people are like, oh, you want to do a walking rosary, so you just go and do a rosary, or
That's awesome.
you go to mass. Also, my campus has something that I loved about my school was that we have mass. We have there's I believe it's 5 masses in a day. There's 6:30, and there's 8 a.m. There's 12:05 and 4:45 and 5 o'clock mass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 5 masses throughout the day.
Yeah, 5 masses throughout the day, and you're encouraged to go to mass, like a daily mass, and that's something that also helped me.
That's in campus.
It's in campus, yeah. It's in the
Okay.
chapel there. Yeah.
Dang. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad there's 97% Catholics, because if it was a short amount of, like, let's say 20%, everybody else would be like, man, these guys are weirdos.
Yeah. At first, I was like, because it was my first time going to a Catholic school.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, what are these people doing? To me, it was weird, because coming from a public school, I was like, I wasn't really I didn't know what to expect, and I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that. I know that I was in a good college, but I wasn't expecting to see people wearing chacos, or people holding a rosary while they're
Okay.
walking, or
Praying. People
or
praying.
praying,
in school. Do y'all pray in school?
Yeah,
inside of school? Class?
Yeah, so in our classes, we start with a prayer for our classes, and just it's just a different environment. And also another thing that's really different is that when I grew up, when I was growing up, I went to Spanish mass, and that's all I went to.
Oh, yeah,
So
same.
I didn't know how to pray in English. I didn't know how to play my prayers. I also I would say it in Spanish. In the mass, I was kind of lost, because I didn't know what to respond during the mass. But after going to daily mass, you learn the prayers.
Yeah, you pick it up.
And you pick it up, yeah. But at first I was I'm not gonna say the Our Father out loud, because I didn't know at the time, or prayer, praying the rosary in English. It was my first time hearing it there, and I'm like, oh, like I don't know, like when I was like growing up, I didn't think about praying the rosary in English. I always
Yeah.
prayed it in Spanish, you know?
Yeah, I was the same way. I couldn't even think in English, like
Yeah.
or think of my prayers in English, and even now I still struggle with it. But that's cool to see. And I guess you grew in your faith that way. You had to translate your whole prayer life into English. That's cool.
Yeah, it was it's cool, but it's also like at the beginning it was like it was too much at the time because you're like, oh, like I want to do the prayer, but like I want to speak, but like let me just do it in Spanish, you know? And that's how I would do it, and then I would like slowly pick it up in English. Yeah.
No, that's very interesting too. I think I like what you said there, that your friends would also help you spiritually. And you don't see that very often. Or a lot of times a friend that calls you out and tells you, hey, man, you shouldn't have done that. You should do better. Hey, you need to pray. You kind of like push that friend away because like, man, what is he talking about? How is he going to tell me to be better and do this or not do that? So that's very interesting, and I've liked friends who can tell you, hey, you're missing out on this, or you can do a little better here. So that's I like that.
Yeah,
that's true. What is it? A true fraternity in was the group of guys in college? What is it? A frat, right?
yeah,
Is
yeah.
frat,
There's talking about the whole fraternity, like the frat. We don't really have frats or sororities. We do have households, which is kind of a similar thing, but it's like a bunch of like Catholic students who like come together and they pray. You know, they get together and they pray. They go to mass together. They pray together. They pray the rosary together. They go to holy hour, or they do like many different like activities together, and that's called like a household. So the household that I was in when I was at Franciscan, and in like still part of like the household, is called Knights of the Holy Queen.
So what were some of the greatest difficulties that you encountered faith-wise? Things that kind of like set you back in your faith, or things that were obstacles to getting closer to God. Did you have some of them?
I guess just like being away from home and actually like, being independent for the first time. So like my mom was not going to tell me, oh, well, let's go to mass, or like my family's not going to tell me that, oh, let's go to mass. But like this time it was like up to me if I wanted to go to mass, or if I wanted to pray the rosary, or if I wanted like to go to holy hour, and it was up to me. So like sometimes my laziness would win over me, and like I would miss mass, I would miss rosary, I would miss like holy hour, and sometimes I would like tell lights, oh, like can you cover my holy hour? I have to do something else. But in the reality, it's like I didn't have to do the other thing. I was just being lazy and didn't want to go.
Dang.
But I guess like just being independent and like having that a sense of freedom would be one of the obstacles that I had.
Okay. And I think that is the difficulty in college, because this is for many, this is the first time that you do leave the house. So it's kind of like you're free, like, and you want to conquer the world, and like I can do whatever I want. I can wake up at whatever time I want. And so you have a sense of, or the first sense of liberty in a way. And we have to learn how to be dependent or responsible of our decisions and our time, our schedule, and our classes individually, like you said. So I think that's the thing that a lot of people, we struggle with that, and that's kind of how we struggle in our faith, because especially during college, because you're not at home. So like you said, your parents aren't going to tell you, hey, wake up, it's time to go to church, it's time to go to mass, or like you said, hey, pray before you go to bed, pray whenever you wake up. So I would see how that's very difficult for many. And even now, like finding a time to pray in the day, we're like, man, I don't have time for that. Or maybe later. And then you just keep doing that until you don't pray.
Right. So, some quick advice that I have for someone who's going to go to college, they can be Catholic, or it can be like secular, a public school or secular college is that self-discipline. Self-discipline is important because if you don't have self-discipline, you won't like be responsible in your life. You know, we need to have that self-discipline to get up and be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do throughout the day. I need to, you know, if you want to have a clean dorm, I need to wake up, you know, do my bed and be everything organized, or like you decide whether or not you want to have a clean environment or not. You know, no one's gonna tell you. There is RAs that will like come once a month and check how like your living status is, but but it's up to you if you want to have a clean environment for yourself, you know. And on top of that, it's like if you want to go to mass, if you want to go to like, you just like you have that power to like to
make your own decisions.
Make your decisions, yes. Whether you're saying like, you know, yes or no to the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So even in your classes, like you have the responsibility to fulfill the duties of your class, do your homework, do your projects, and if you don't, you will suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So what was your parents' reaction? Like, did they know that you were starting to pray the rosary daily, that you went to daily mass, or that you would wake up in the morning to pray, or even go to a holy hour? Like, what was their reaction to that?
At first they were kind of weirded out.
Yeah.
Because I remember my brothers, like one time I went back home for like winter break, and they're like, "Oh, Ronnie, you've changed, you know, like you're not the same anymore," you know, because like I didn't know that we had to pray a rosary every day. Like we have that responsibility to pray a rosary every day.
That's what they would say.
Yeah. Or not like, no, what do you mean?
Oh, that's what you didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that we were supposed to pray a rosary every day.
Okay.
Or to go to holy hour, or to do like other or to go to mass, you know, I wasn't used,
you weren't aware that was even possible.
Right.
Or that wasn't even an idea.
Right.
I mean, yeah, for a lot of us Catholics, we think that it's only mass, Sunday mass, and that's it. Like, goodbye forever and until next Sunday.
Yeah, because that's how I was. And I was like, I don't know that we can go to holy hour, we can go to daily mass. I didn't know that daily mass was a thing when I went to college. Like, they're like, what do you mean, vamos? Like, you know, there's going to be misa otra vez, you know, mass. Yeah.
So this is a daily battle. We have to
right.
fight a daily battle. Daily battle we have to be prepared for.
Right.
So that's interesting. Did your mom ever think that, oh, my son is going to be a priest because now he prays all day?
Yeah, my parents, I found out when we went to Mexico, they've been telling people, oh, he's going to become a priest or something like that. I'm like, no, I just go to even my brothers too. They're like, oh, he's going to become a priest. I'm like, no, I don't know. You know, I just go to a Catholic college because I wanted to go to a Catholic college. But yeah.
Yeah. So every man is called to prayer. And I think that's the one thing that we like to think that, oh, this guy prays all day, so he's going to be a priest, or he knows a little bit of the Bible, he's going to be a priest. And it's not like that. Everyone is called to learn about God. Everyone is called to pray and to make this a living habit, like daily. Like we said, it was a daily spiritual battle we must fight and we must be prepared for. So that's daily. And we think like, oh, this guy prays too much, he's gonna be a priest. Oh, this girl is all about Jesus, so she's gonna be a nun. So it's not like that, right?
It's not like that.
Yeah. So Ronnie, college is kind of known for like the partying lifestyle. You're set free first time that you leave the house, and you can do whatever you want. And a lot of people do decide to go more into the worldly desires and worldly pleasures. This is very common in college life, and everybody who goes to college perhaps may see the temptation near them. What's your experience with this?
Yeah, the temptation is always going to be there, but if you know yourself and you have self-discipline, you can say no. Like, I do not want to partake in these type of activities. or and if you do, like, let's say like you do partake in the activities, there's also like friends that would be like that are nearby, and they're seeing, like, they're watching like what you're doing, and they'll come up to you and be like, hey, like this is what you did, like, isn't good, like, you want to go to confession, or like they ask you, they're just like, being like what a good friend
Yeah.
is like saving your like your heart and saving your soul.
Yeah. No, that's very good, because I know we share friends in Albernia, and I feel like a good friend is that one friend who tells you what you're doing wrong and tells you how to do it right. And I think that's awesome. You need somebody to tell you what
Right.
you're doing wrong. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think that's very great that you have friends like that in Franciscan University.
Yeah. It's not even there, but it's just like anywhere in general, like
Yes.
having those friends, and like in the friends that I have there till now, if they see something wrong in like with my like social medias, they'll text me and be like, hey, like this what you're doing is not right. Like, and then we'll talk about it and things like that. Or sometimes, just that's what a good friend is. Having those good friends in college, especially like during your time in your studies, like it's a really good friends to have.
Yeah. But I still think that your environment is going to affect you great.
Oh, 100%.
So attending Franciscan University it's a different environment that is guided towards God.
Yes.
So it would be a better option. I think it's a better option than any other campus. Or
I loved it. I loved it there, yeah, and I can I can attest to like, people there strive for the best of yourself and
for others too.
for others too. Yeah.
Dang. You should have told me that you were going, and maybe I should have gone to Franciscan University. So if you're thinking about it, what did you say? Should they go?
Yeah, if you're thinking about applying to Franciscan University, yeah, come on and be a Baron, because that's our mascot. It's a Baron.
Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, I highly recommend the university.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really spiritual, like inside, like inside campus, and it's you just have so many wonderful people there, professors, priests that you can go and talk to, nuns if you want to talk to the nuns. We can also the sisters.
Yeah.
You can also talk to the sisters there, and just professors too, and everything is like I loved about that's one thing about I love about my school, that I can go to a professor and talk to them, or to a priest, or to a sister.
Talk to your professors about your spiritual faith or spiritual battle, faith, or what?
Like like you can talk about like class or like personal problems. So it depends like if you want like how like your connection with like the professor is.
So the professors are also trying to help you spiritually.
Yeah, because they know that like you're far away from home, and you're like kind of like the only one. Not literally like the only one, but like the only one from your family at like in a Catholic campus, yeah, or in a campus.
I think that makes a great teacher. The greatest teacher is the one that can help you not just teach you, but also help you in life. And I think that's very necessary in today's world. Professors that help you in your life, in your day-to-day battle, especially spiritually. But so for these students that want to go to Steubenville and that want to go to Franciscan University, how can they keep their faith? How can they increase their faith while they're there? What do you recommend for them?
Yeah, there's many options that a student can attend to, such as Holy Hour, daily Mass. I find a group of people like households, or even just like a friend group. You can join a club. There's many clubs there. Let me talk about a club that I was a part of. It was Latinos for Christ.
Okay.
So in Latinos for Christ, I was there when I was there for 4 years. I was the president for 2 years.
Okay.
My sophomore and my junior year, I was the president for Latinos for Christ. Latinos for Christ, it was a bunch of Latinos that we were there at Franciscan, and we would get together and share like our culture with our community, such as the Day of the Dead or
Okay.
La Virgen de Guadalupe, Our Lady of Guadalupe Day, feast day, December 12th. We would have, we were 1 year, my freshman year, the president at the time, she had connections with a mariachi band, and it was like a group of mariachi band from New England, the New England area. So they came down to Franciscan and they played for us for the whole school, and it was a really fun night. We had tacos.
Okay.
There was tacos that night, and there was mariachi singing for La Virgen de Guadalupe.
Nice. So this group do they speak Spanish there?
Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of like an outreach program for those Spanish-speaking students who are in Steubenville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have professors who are also Hispanic too.
Okay.
And they come and join. We have an advisor or people from the community who live nearby, and they help us with our events.
So if you speak Spanish and you want to go to Franciscan University, you should go to, because there's definitely a lot of programs
Latinos.
there. That's cool. So
when I started there, I didn't really see a lot of Latinos, but when I left, that's when I saw a lot of Latinos going into Franciscan University.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
There's a program for you.
Yeah. One of my favorite memories from being Latinos for Christ would be these events. We would host these events for the community, for our campus, and also we would have loteria nights. We would have encuentros, which is encuentros is encounters. We would get together and play loteria. We would play just different
traditional
games,
Mexican
traditional Latino
Latin,
games.
Games.
We would make food. Sometimes we got together. We made tamales. For one, we made tacos. We would have a board game night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So if these students are going to Steubenville, and what would you say to the parents? How can the parents help out spiritually for their kids? Because a lot of times when you go to college, your parents do know that you're in college and that they do know they have to pay this amount of money, but that's it. So how can the parents be more involved in the spiritual side of their kids? What would you say that the parents can do to partake a little bit more spiritually?
Yeah. One of the things is, of course, prayer for the kids, for their students, who are going to attend, a Catholic college, and just honestly, just prayer and communication. Communication is a really big goal, key for your student to be there and far away from campus. Communicate, having that good communication with your son or daughter that's attending a Catholic school. Even school, in general, not even Franciscan, but any other college or university, having that communication and just praying for them, or sending them little prayer cards, or send them little messages, text messages too, would also help.
So Ronnie, you did mention about households, and you wanted to share a little bit more about that.
Right. So in our school, we have households. They're kind of like fraternities, but it's a group of men who get together and they pray. And also, with households, we have all guys, and then we have all girls. My household is Knights of the Holy Queen, which I'll talk about in a bit. But my sister household is Regina and Jalorum, and that's all female households. And all the households, they have they get together and pray the rosary, or go to holy hour, or go to daily mass, or go to mass, or do different little activities that they have. Or some of them pray the Divine Mercy Chapel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but talking about my household, the Knights of Holy Queen, it's a group of guys that we strive. We have 3 pillars, which is service, purity, and love. And those 3 service, we try to call out to be saints. We're called out to be saints, and we through those three
pillars
that we have. So as a group, we go to weekday we go to Thursday morning mass. So we wake up at 6:30, we attend mass, and we have breakfast afterwards. We get together all the guys, and we have a rosary. Tuesday nights we have Lord's Day. Everybody has Lord's Day, which is we meditate on the readings that are going to be said for Sunday.
Okay.
And we like kind of talk about the readings, and then it gives you time to like meditate on like what the readings are about. Yeah.
Then.
And we also have Holy Hour. So we have Sunday nights Holy Hour. So Sunday we begin, go to mass, and then at the end we close up with a Holy Hour.
And this household, does it change every semester, or is it like this is throughout the 4 years that you were there, or how does that work?
So it's like in order to join the household, you have to it's called intense period. It's you go and I talk to the coordinator, be like, hey, I want to be part of your household. So you have intent period, and then you become you go and like kind of like see if you can be like if you can join. So they're called like for us for nights we're called like because we're like, our purpose is to be a knight, for the Holy Queen, for the Immaculata.
Okay.
But for ours it's called first is pages and squires and then knights. Okay. So there's a process to go to. Once they intend to our fraternity, like to our household, they're called pages. So they go through formation with one of us, and then become squires. And then after formation, with the squire, when they're squires, they become a knight. So in that formation, we talk to them. We get together and we talk as a group. We do like communal stuff. We do a consecration to Mama Mary through the saint of Saint Maximilian Kolbe, the 40-day. We do a 9-day consecration.
Okay.
We do a 9-day consecration.
That's
and
good.
then there's like many other like activities that we do with like the household, and everybody has like their own like little household. Like there's Virgin Zalorum. There's also like Daughters of Zion. There's disciples.
So that's a lot of information all at once. But if you do have any questions for Ronnie, definitely leave them in the comment section, and he'll be glad to answer them. Especially if you want to go to Franciscan University. So if you have any questions about that, households, or anything in this podcast, definitely leave it in the comments, and we'll get to it. So if you were to sum up your whole experience at Franciscan University, what would you say?
My experience, I feel like my experience was a really good experience. I got to learn new people. I got to learn things about myself that I didn't know. I also got to learn about my career, clinical psychology,
and faith-wise.
Faith-wise, I learned a lot about my faith, and I learned like things that I didn't know. There were a thing about my Catholic faith that I now know. Yeah,
and I don't know if I noticed a big difference, but I didn't really know you before Alvernia. But after, I remember you had already gone for a year, and after a year that you came back, and we just started talking about the faith, and it was like, whoa, like you know so much. And then it's like, man, we can talk about this all day. So, I mean, I didn't know if it was a big difference, but I noticed that you have a lot to share now about your faith, because I don't know if you learned it over there or what was your experience that way?
Yeah, I learned so many about saints. One of the things that I didn't know here, like when I was in North Carolina, in public school, and was about saints. Other than just Saint Francis. Other than Saint Francis, like I didn't know anything about other saints. Like I didn't know. I see like we have here Saint Joseph of Cupertino.
Yeah.
I didn't know about his story, and not until I got to my campus, we have a cafe that's called Cupertino's.
Yeah.
We call it the Coop.
Have you seen the movie?
I have not seen the movie. My mom has seen the movie, and she talks about it, but I haven't actually seen the whole movie.
If you haven't watched it, you should definitely look it up. Saint Joseph of Cupertino. It's a black and white video, but it's on YouTube. Look it up, and it's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there is so many saints that we have to look up to and kind of like follow their steps in the way that they followed Jesus Christ. So
Right.
that's great. Especially, I'm sure you made Franciscan or Saint Francis a good friend of yours because you went to Franciscan
Yeah.
University, and we have here the crucifix of San Damiano. So we got this just for you.
Thank you.
Just for you, Ronnie, and for all those who are in Franciscan University. I mean, me myself, I like I have the Franciscan charisma since I went to the retreat of Alvernia also. So that's kind of one thing we can share in common. But that's also in Porciúncula, no?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the crucifix of Saint Damiano. And so, Ronnie, what's your final words here to our viewers about Franciscan University?
If you're thinking about applying to Franciscan, go ahead and apply. Let go of your fears and just apply and just go and see what Franciscan has to offer.
Yeah. And from what Ronnie has shared, I'm pretty sure it's an awesome experience. And I can only see a glimpse of it through your eyes. But I mean, I would have done it. If I would have gone back now, I definitely would have done it. So please, I invite you to go ahead and bite the bullet. Go to Franciscan University and then live out that Franciscan fraternity. Because what we have shared, or what we have experienced in Alvernia through that Franciscan charisma, it's awesome. So I can only imagine in Franciscan University.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. So thank you again, Ronnie Macias, for being here with us today and sharing us a little bit of your experience with Franciscan University of Steubenville, Ohio, where Pints of Aquinas is at, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Did you ever meet him or
I would see
be
him around campus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you would
around
definitely
campus and local.
you would go to his talks of Matt Frad.
Yeah, I attended some of his talks.
Definitely check him out. I mean, he's way better than us. But that's so awesome. Definitely go. We're going to leave a link right below. So Pints of Aquinas has helped me out tremendously. And I can only imagine what all he does. What all the good stuff he does for the Franciscan University, because he does a lot of talks there. So if you don't know Matt Frad or Pints of Aquinas or Pints with Aquinas, definitely check it out. And so that's it for today. So life is a short journey. So let's study and live wherever you're closer to God. And that may be Franciscan University. So let's do it. All right. Pax bonum.
Pase bien.